Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing a remarkably fresh Rolex Oyster Perpetual GMT-Master II 116710LN, now out of production. This is a timepiece that introduced the world to not just the super case GMT, but the first GMT with a solid end link, solid center link, milled clasp bracelet, the first GMT with a Cerachrom ceramic bezel, the first GMT with a green GMT hand, and broadly, this was the GMT that ushered in the era of modern Rolex cases and bracelets in terms of how they look and how they feel, a quality level that represented a quantum leap over older Rolex watches when this generation of GMT debuted in gold back in 2005. Now this one represents a lovely snapshot of that era, just ended. The timepiece 40 millimeters in diameter, and on my wrist, wonderfully slim for a complication at only 12.1 millimeters thick. Lug to lug, and you can see it. We'll do the down the barrel shot. You can see the watch measures 48.2 millimeters lug to lug, but if you add the solid end links of the bracelet, it swells just a bit more to 51.3 millimeters. Now, if you want to throw the watch and its breakthrough bracelet on a strap instead, you can put the bracelet aside and throw a 20 millimeter strap, maybe a rubber B or an Everest on this bad boy, but a modern Rolex probably should be worn on the Rolex bracelet. They're just that good. Now the timepiece is still remarkably fresh in that this example was some sort of a retirement gift to an employee of a Northeast Jeep accessory supplier called Quadratec. Let me see if I can capture that. Quadratec, probably named after the Jeep Quadra Drive four-wheel drive system. Well, apparently this guy was more into Jeeps than Rolex, and that's to your advantage, as the timepiece is almost completely wrapped and packed as it would have left Geneva. You can see all of the original plastic, so if you see a little bit of garnishing that wouldn't normally be featured on a pre-owned watch, that's exactly why it's there. Now the timepiece features that solid end link, solid center link, milled clasp bracelet, differential finish, polish and satin, removable links fixed by screws. You can see that this was the beginning of the double locking Rolex clasp, where you would have a beak and a hook internally, and you'd have one lock. You can hear it snaps. You actually can't pull it open right here. It's locked nicely. There's a vertical trigger, and you can just see the pivot of that vertical trigger to open the thing. You'll also note that it's double locked with both the clamshell and the beak and hook system. Internally, you can see it's nicely finished of polish, and there's more plastic, of course. And then you have the fold-out Easy Link system, 5 millimeters of adjustment. That's the equivalent of adding or removing one sizable link. And then you can see internally there are those 3 divots now with little tracks to help you guide the spring bar into the divots, so you can change the anchoring point of the bracelet inside the clasp. A very secure and solid mechanism. You'll also appreciate that the case is simple but nicely done, with black polish on the case flanks, separated from the satin finish of the lug hoods by a sheer side. They're squared off on the ends, sheer on the side. This was the beginning of the case known as the super case, and this is significant because though the watch is nominally a 40, these super case 40s tend to wear like 41s or 42s from other companies. Rolex stainless steel triplock crown, the 3 symmetrical dots, and sheer guards. You can see that the bezel is a GMT style aviator's bezel, Cerachrom, and remember this was the first generation of Rolex GMT to have a ceramic bezel. The fill for the indices and the numerals, all platinum inside a ceramic base, so you have a bi-directional rotation, and it has a nice positive feel. It's a little bit smoother than a dive bezel. It's not that click-clack, it's more of a nook, 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 nook type feeling. You'll also appreciate the fact that the Cerachrom helps to shield your watch from scratches, as it's far more resilient than the previous anodized aluminum. Now you basically use the 24-hour hand in green, note the GMT master script and the green GMT hand, hallmarks of this generation. You can actually set the 12-hour hand at center and the 24-hour hand independently of each other. And the idea is that if you do set that 24-hour hand to Greenwich Mean Time, you can use the local GMT offset of your port or airport of destination to temporarily find a third time zone. It's a GMT Master II because you can set that local hour hand independently from the 24-hour hand. Now, if you want, you can pull the crown out that all the way. You can hack the seconds, and you can still move everything in sync. Now, the timepiece is powered by Rolex manufacturer caliber 3186, 31 joules, automatic winding, bi-directional, 48-hour power reserve, a 28,800 vibration per hour beat rate, all underneath the case back, the 12 and the 24-hour dual time system. It features a full balance bridge for shock resistance, as well as a free-sprung index for the same reason. Overcoil hairspring to help the watch keep excellent time in any orientation with respect to gravity, and that overcoil is made of Rolex's oxidized blue niobium zirconium alloy, highly anti-magnetic, you know it as Cerachrom blue. The watch is a COSC chronometer, thanks in large part to multi-position adjustment and that overcoil, and though the COSC calls for no worse than -4 + 6 seconds per day, the timepiece is guaranteed by Rolex to run no worse than -2 + 2. That is the new substantive basis for the superlative nomenclature on the dial. All the features of the dial are white gold, with the exception of the dial base, which is a lush and glossy black lacquer. You can see this handsome milestone model, the Rolex GMT-116710LN, now discontinued, a modern classic. Make it yours on the watch box. The Rolex GMT flies and swims with 100-meter water resistance and glows with Rolex Chromolite Lume.